basis to really know what's going on. So I'm going to give not necessarily a very long report, but a lot. I'm going to throw a lot at you and expect a lot of questions. And Bridget, Morgan, Pat will do the same, just so that you're aware of what we're doing on a daily basis.
How will watch me do that? Voting.
Right. Voting is just all in favor. You normally, normally it's just by voice. If there's something we can vote. However, motion to vote by roll call, motion to vote by voice vote, motion to vote by hand count, motion to vote by secret ballot. So the representative may decide. It's not like a conference where you have a placard, unless I suppose that I want to do that. Mr. Simons, are we good?
Let's do it.
We're good. Okay. So I'm going to start off with my report. Again, I'm going to throw a lot at you. My report's available on the drive, and I want a lot of questions. Working with Lieutenant Governor Hochul's office, we are hoping to travel to several conferences and meetings. Did I do something wrong?
No, sorry, I was spying on the screen.
Oh, good. Good. That's good. We're hoping to visit campuses to discuss and raise awareness about heroin and opiate prevention. People brought up the concern that, ask the question, is this a raging issue on campuses? The answer is no. It's really not a raging issue across the system, but it is an issue right off campus, downtown. It's a safety issue. It's something that's important to SUNY, to Student Assembly, and to the Governor's Office. Lieutenant Governor Hochul has been an excellent advocate for higher education and a really good friend to me and to the Assembly in the past. So she personally asked us to work on this, and I was not about to go to the Lieutenant Governor to say, So we are doing heroin and opiate prevention with her. The June Board of Trustees meeting, which was my first trustee meeting, saw issues on social media responsibility, SUNY student ownership of intellectual property, and tuition, all discussed among many, many other things. I was encouraged to hear the necessity of student input from multiple trustees in general. As a general blanket statement, the trustees were glad to know that we meet like this, and were hopeful and encouraged that the executive committee representative of the students would be involved in future discussions regarding everything that we discussed there. And it was an excellent meeting. I voted no on tuition, which was the first time I think in quite a while that the student trustees voted no, because while we wrote a SUNY 2020 resolution, the State University of New York and the state legislature called for tuition freeze, and I did not think it was right to have a tuition freeze with an asterisk. They tried to raise tuition. They did raise tuition on graduate students and on out-of-state students. I voted no, and I made my concerns known, which were agreed upon by more than just me and a couple of trustees. And so we're moving to dialogue, we're moving to discussion, we'll continue to do that, and I will continue to be an advocate. With intellectual property ownership of it, this is far above my head, and actually it's not so that Nick can just touch on it for a second, but it has to do with what students can own when they come up with an idea like a patent that a student creates. It used to be it was created, basically if you were thinking about your campus or something, while you thought of this idea, the campus can claim ownership to it. It was just insane. So
Yeah. So I can pick up there just for a bit. Essentially, like you said, patent law hasn't been changed for about 40 years, and how it used to be was if there was any connection to the university, even if you, like you say, even if you almost thought of an idea while walking on campus, the university could claim it as their idea or something ridiculous of that nature. But what has been changed to is that you can obviously think about ideas on campus. There's some provisions for working with campus equipment and still maintaining the intellectual property of whatever you may be innovating on your campus. And that's something that went out at the SUNY system level, so that is not a campus by campus basis. This is a full system initiative.
So I'm going to interrupt myself and turn it back over to Nick. Pages 4, 5, and 6 of my report, which I'm not going to go through in its entirety, Carolyn helped to develop it, and it's transparency is critical. And we meet once a month, and we talk on the phone once a week, once every couple of weeks. But that our jobs don't stop, and my job doesn't stop. Bridget's job doesn't stop. And so I thought it was critical that I am as literally transparent as I can possibly be, and I gave Carolyn access to all of my calendars, and she helps us plan all these meetings. summits to phone calls with SGA presidents. I was hesitant to do this because I don't want you to think that these 2.25 pages represent everything that I've done or everything that Bridget or Pat or Morgan or Nick or Kalen or Rob have done, because I hope you know that's not true just based on what you see on social media, but it gives you an idea of the people who I'm meeting with and representing you all too. And again, I physically, I asked Karen what's the most transparent way we could possibly do this, and she said, let me write out your calendar. I said, do it. And so we literally have every single meeting. Karen will put that together for us. So I just want to interrupt myself because as you hear this, you might hear some things that are not on this, and that's because it occurred within one of the conferences that I was at, that we were at. But again, moving toward transparency, I thought that was important. Nick will talk just a little bit about Accenture, micro-credentialing, and a couple other things.
Sure. So starting with Accenture, it was early July, so it was about a month ago. We had a briefing in one of the meeting rooms that we actually couldn't see on the fourth floor because it was closed off. Accenture is partnering with SUNY on their applied learning initiatives to make it essentially a balanced attack and do another pilot on the applied learning initiatives that SUNY is doing. Pick out a couple campuses in different niche markets, pick out some ag tech campuses, some research universities, and make sure that there was last year an initiative put forward to make applied learning experiences, which are internship, research studies, work studies, a graduation requirement, and that has not been fully pushed through yet. They're still in the phase of feasibility studies, essentially. Partnering with Accenture, who is widely known as a great consulting firm, especially in higher education, gives SUNY an opportunity to see it through a different lens. I don't know if whether it was they didn't think they could do it alone or they just needed a bit of help with it, that Accenture can come in, do another pilot of different campuses, make sure that these applied learning initiatives that are being put forward on college campuses are feasible. They are adapting to the different diversity, the diversity throughout our system on different campuses and making sure they're accessible to all students. So that was what we were briefed on at the Accenture briefing. This is a multi-month plan. So we're in the first month. I have the timeline in my bag that I can put up on the screen if anyone's interested later. But right now I'll move on to micro-credentialing, which is a task force that I personally sit on. If anyone knows Mike Haggerty from last year, Mike sat on that last year. The task force does good work. It's another task force at the SUNY level, which essentially what they're after with micro-credentialing, if anyone in the room doesn't know, micro-credentialing is the series of offering milestones, badges, acknowledgments after taking a certain amount of classes before you get to a degree. So someone who's going back to school, this is very good for non-traditional students who are going back to school for a select number of classes in a certain concentration, trying to get a certification or something in a field, whether it be auto body work or something of that nature. Micro-credentialing task force is working to make that accessible at all SUNY campuses and making sure that these students who are coming back not for a degree but for a trade or a skill are being acknowledged for it. There's something they can show to their employer at the end of the day. So I went to SUNYSA, I went to SUNY took a couple classes, and I got certified in this trade or what have you. So the work that the micro-credentialing task force does is they bring together administrators, faculty from different campuses, talk about, again, the diversity of the system. I know that sounds like I'm bringing up a lot, but that's because our system is vast and it is diverse. That has to
reasonable request to have a presidential debate to vote into higher education, let alone in some of these battleground districts around the state, having a debate around tuition, college debt, student loans, things like that. So we're actively working on that. Another advocacy point, and I don't want to tread on Vice President Doyle's report, so I'm not going to say a lot about it. I'll let her talk about it. But we held the blood drive, standing in solidarity with the victims in Orlando. And as we all know, we all learn as we go, and a huge oversight on my part mostly that Bridget so kindly pointed out was that it's a little, counterintuitive that we're holding a blood drive for the incident that occurred in a nightclub with people who can't donate blood to support their own community, which is just insane. And so we actually got a ton of media coverage on this, and it was about the blood drive, but it was about the Student Assembly's advocacy for equal blood donation. And I'm not going to touch too much on it. I'm going to let Bridget talk about it. Do you want to do that now?
So yeah, we did kind of media coverage for that. We took out the resolution we passed 2 years ago, I believe, or over equal blood donation, and it really, I think, sprung a lot of conversation at a time of great tragedy around how we're really not equal in so many ways. Marriage equality was passed, and so many people think now that marriage equality was passed, that's the end of the fight for the LGBTQ and emoji community. So there's a lot of fighting to continue to do. I think our DEI committee has really shown their commitment. Burgundy actually made that great Pride banner for us during June, during Pride Month. So we're continuing to stand in solidarity with that community, and I think we're really welcome to open the dialogue to more ways that, especially I think transgender students are seeing a lot of equality on campuses. Not all of our campuses have all gender and gender inclusive facilities or accessible gender inclusive facilities on their campuses. And I know that both campus safety and the DEI committee are working on those things currently. So continue advertising the need for those facilities on our campuses and the fight for equality in that community.
As we all know, the search for a new chancellor is underway. I'm the student on the search committee, and then I'll be the search committee. So the way it's going to work is first we have to find a search firm. We've done that. Now that search firm is going to be responsible for tapping candidates of diverse pool as possible. Those candidates will be vetted. The search committee will make recommendations as to the type of candidate, will make recommendations on the candidates, the types of questions that should be asked, and then once the search committee makes a recommendation, I'm not quite certain if it's going to be a recommendation of 1 or 2 or 3, but I guess that could vary. It'll be made to the SUNY board, and then again, I'm a student rep on that, so we will vote to determine who the new chancellor should be. I fought pretty hard to get another student on the search committee itself, which I was not successful at. The search committee is comprised of a vast number. There's 21 people, but representative from really every group. And as hard as I tried, I wasn't victorious, and so I dropped just a cold asked a question to the search firm. I said, "Can we, have you engaged students in the past in things like this?" And they said, "Well, when we engage students, it can be on campuses it's a lot easier, but system-wide it can be difficult because there's so many campuses." And I said, "What if I do legwork for you? What if I create a student advisory committee representative in every way of demographic of students for you? Would you be willing to meet with them, talk to them, engage them in discussion?" And they said, "Absolutely." So I have their commitment, I have the commitment of the chairman of the board, and I have the commitment of the board of trustees. So I have already reached out to huge deal, and we're working on that actively. A couple of weeks ago, I was in New York City, and I had the opportunity to meet with my counterpart at CUNY. And he's the president of the CUNY United
University Student Senate.
Say Connor, United States.
University Student.
University Student Senate. And his name's Joe Awadaje. And I know Joe from when Tom was president. Thomas Chief Staff. He was someone different when he was president. But I know Joe. He's great, and he sat his cabinet down, and we had and I was kind of outnumbered, but I sat down. We had a really great discussion about their initiatives, about tuition, about everything. It was a meeting that was supposed to be like an half hour to 45 minutes, and I sat there for an hour and a half, and it was incredible. It's the first time that that's ever happened. I don't know why, but we're going to continue that collaboration going forward. When you not just full-time equivalent, but all students. When you look at all students at SUNYSA, which is a little over 600,000. Again, that's all students, just anybody engaged in the student program, and all students at CUNY. It's over 1 million students, and that's a lot of power. It's a lot of voices. And so we're working on harnessing that power and seeing what we can do with it in terms of tuition, sexual violence prevention, and a couple of other sort of main initiatives as we move forward. One more thing, and I'm gonna put Liz on the spot just a little bit. Things are still in the planning stages, but I'm very proud to announce that the SUNY Board of Trustees will see a new committee, Student Life Committee. Again, that's a deal of monumental proportions to have a committee on the SUNY Board of Trustees devoted to student issues. I'm going to be the co-chair of it with one other trustee, and we'll see about the staff person for it. But Dr. Droz has been instrumental in meeting, and if you just want to briefly talk about some of the things of the aim of the committee, the charter. I'm sorry I put you on the spot. I know. Sorry.
I can talk. It is a good step, I think. Part of the challenge, I think, is to represent all students, not just the student assembly. So part of my role on this is to help Mark represent student issues and what are the topics that impact students the most. And so some of why Andy and I sit in our meetings is to take notes on, wait a minute, they're talking about this, they're talking about this. Does that match what campuses are telling us? Yes. And so part of this committee, and the chairman McCall is really into this. He's really into student life. And so what's interesting for me is I'm basically Mark's assistant. But I'll be sitting there and saying, Mark, say this, or, here are your notes. And
it is infinitely more than that is not.
But I think what's fun about it is to be able to hear your concerns and then give it to the board. The board basically will bring up the topic. So I think we're going to lead a little bit, but then also take what the board wants. And if you watch board meetings, these are politicians and others appointed by the governor, where they take things. So I think that's going to be an interesting, because here you put forward your issues, you put forward your interests. There we have a lot of folks who are going to be saying, well, no, actually the issue is going to be, this particular thing, students that, transfer from Iowa and what they need. And then you have to sort of dance with that and decide how to bring it forward as really an issue that's relevant for all of SUNY students. So I think it's going to be interesting. I have no idea where it's going to go. We're hoping for a September meeting, but I have no clue who else is on the group, so they're kind of still working it.
Yeah. And this is an initiative that was started last year under Tom's administration. Things like this don't happen because there's so much turnover. Little did SUNY know that there wouldn't be as much turnover as they thought, and we held them accountable, and we made a student committee on the board of trustees happen. And so with that, I think comes a lot of praise for past administrations and for what's coming in the future. In the absence of a chair of state operating campuses, of which hopefully we are no longer upon the confirmation of Mr. Kimmer, Chief of Staff Jerome has been stepping in that role and did an excellent job of ensuring that campuses were assigned, that representatives were reporting back to their contacts, working to create the master list, and helping us, of course, to find a chair of state operating campuses, as well as working with Mr. Berry on changing such that we are involved in issues at a 30,000-foot level now like we've never been before. And so we needed somebody who could sort of advise on that level who had the institutional knowledge. So Nick drew the short straw and is going to be overseeing academic affairs now. And we're going to have Rob really looking at those larger issues, and then of course overseeing campus relations as well. And then a lot of rules things that come down to which we'll talk about. The academic affairs committee has been incredible. I forwarded Evan and Arthur, I think, 5 or 6 memos from the Provost Cartwright, in the last couple of weeks, of which I received excellent feedback. We had a conversation with the Provost's chief of staff, and we're constantly, regularly talking to the Provost and to the Chancellor about those issues. And Arthur and Evan have been instrumental. Ray has been doing quite a bit with that, and I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but quite a bit with legislative affairs and working with CUNY to sort of line things up. Burgundy has been active. We'll talk about Burgundy's new committee, and Bridget's going to touch on that. What she's going to be doing, and Jerry's, we have a new co-chair of diversity, equity, and inclusion, Victoria. I think that moving forward, we have an incredibly strong team. We still do have an incredibly strong team. I know I'm moving people out. Margaret, Monik, and Tyler are killing it with communications, and we are getting so much out to the press and so much out to the trustees and so much out to all of you, which is an incredible benefit. We've got Ashley Ann, hopefully, who will be a new Dr. O'Brien grad rep, and we will hear more from her shortly. Austin on legislative affairs has been amazing. Jason's working very closely with Morgan and Marie with Bridget. And the one person I left out was Carolyn, who has been working, and I put it in my report. There's no way to articulate what Carolyn does because she just in herself is an institution, making sure that literally just that everything that you just see is Carolyn. That's why everything's happening. And she is a sounding board for the executive for us. When we suggest something and there's something obvious or nuanced that we're missing, Carolyn points it out. She ensures that we are staying on track, things aren't forgotten, things aren't falling through the cracks. So she got a paragraph devoted to herself, but that was just because I didn't want to go on and on. I think with that, a lot's been said. We've got a relationship with CUNY, we're picking a new chancellor, we've got a committee on the SUNY Board of Trustees, and it's August 12th. So I don't know what that means for the rest of the year, but I think it means something pretty great. With that, before I give it over to Bridget, I want any and all questions, comments, delve into anything that I've mentioned thus far.
So, way back, when I mentioned that in working on the heroin and opioid problem, that it didn't seem to be too much of an issue on campuses. I don't know how thorough the scope was for the community colleges. Personally, it poses a greater concern because community-based, it feels self-explanatory, and it's much more delved into the community around it. I know Schenectady, as well as other areas, pockets of the capital region, even out by Onondaga and Monroe, there's little issues going on that are starting to work their way in. So I'm sure the scope entirely looked into that, but just in reiterating and explaining a little bit more, it does seem to be becoming an issue in community colleges.
And Bill, you're absolutely right. I should have specified. We don't want people to have the impression that people are sitting in the back of lecture centers shooting up. That's not what the issue is. And when people think that's what the issue is, it's dangerous because they say that's not happening at UAlbany, that's not happening at SU, that's not happening at Oneonta. It's not an issue. It doesn't work. It's not relevant. But exactly what you said is that it is relevant, and just because it's not overtly happening doesn't mean that it's not happening. So community colleges, of course, in Onondaga and certain of these campuses, it's not necessarily a small issue. It's more significant because they are in the community themselves. But that's exactly what the lieutenant governor wants to bring light to, recognizing that it is an issue with people our age, and it is an issue with our communities, and it's leaking onto our campuses, it's leaking into our lives, and it's affecting students all over the place, even in the most unexpected places. So my intent was not to say that it's not an issue on campuses. My intent was to say pool is so vast that we wanted to ensure that we're getting as representative a body as we can, and by having a student government president, we're getting as close to that again from every sector and like that. So that's a good question.
It might be a good idea to bring this up at the president's meeting. I'm sure it's probably about
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll have it up and running a little bit before then. But anybody else about anything in my report? All right. With that,
Alright, so I'm gonna talk about a few logistical things first. A huge thing I've been working on for the last 2 months has been cementing our executive committee meetings, like the one we are sitting at today, as well as the one we'll have every month for the rest of the term pretty much. So if you refer to my written report on the drive, there are the dates and tentative venues. Now remember, back in transitional, you all approved, perhaps approved the locations for the fall meetings and the fall conference. We've included the winter and spring tentative dates and venues, which is why they're currently tentative, as you all haven't approved them yet. I want you to keep them in mind. Feel free, reps, to please invite campuses for our meetings, inform them of when they are, and tell them they're welcome to join us and join the dialogue. Conference dates are also included there. One of the reasons we're not approving conference dates today as well is because the Rochester ISD contract is still in the process of being signed. It should be signed by mid-September, and Dave and I have been working on that, as well as Catherine assisting, making sure everything in the contract is settled as well. But everything for fall conference in terms of logistics for the contract has been signed, so please start sending out kind of save the dates for conference. Pat and I are hoping to have the registration packets, the theme, the fees, everything worked out that we can send to campuses by probably September at the latest. Right now, we'd like to have everything done and kind of working our way by the end of August. So the next few weeks, we're going to really be hitting hard for that. Conference planning task force, we had our first meeting, and it was this great, like, over an hour long brainstorming session for those of you who were there. We touched on so many different things and just so many different concepts that we have started looking into some of them. Kat's going to touch on the budget stuff. Some of the concepts we talked about, I have started looking into. Some of them I've held off because we don't really know what we're looking at in terms of funding yet. So what we did talk about at that meeting is great. I love it. We're going to revisit that. I am going to have a conference planning task force meeting for this coming week. You're going to receive a doodle poll from me on Sunday. We're developing a theme right now. Pat and I want to have the theme cemented by the end of next week, and I really want some of your feedback on the theme and what you think we should be centering our conference around for the fall. So we're going to kind of talk about some of the executive board ideas and what our vision was for it, and hear kind of what you want to get out of the theme for conference and your ideas as well. I think that's a really great brainstorming session. So those of you on the listserv, keep an eye out for that. If you're not involved in conference planning task force and you want to join, please join us. It's so much fun. Yay. What else do we have going on here? Committees. So I noted in my, I noted a couple of committees that have been doing a really great job. Chair Mold and Chair Reed. With campus safety and military affairs, I really would like to point to that as people who have been doing really great jobs, bringing forward initiatives for us to work on. When you hear their presentations today, please take note of things you'd like to tell your campuses about and inform campuses about. There are a couple of initiatives I've been working with them closely on. Lori has been trying very hard to put together some kind of a veteran summit or event for our veteran students, where we can look at how we can best support their educational growth, whether that means a job fair or workshops or breakout sessions, some kind of event for them and their families where they can come and learn new information and gain new tactics. I know that SUNYSA stands with them in that effort. I've been working a lot with not only Chair Reed with campus safety, but really closely with Mark and Secretary Wood on the SUNYSA It's On Us campaign, which Morgan and I are anticipating will go live in be fully functional on our website by September at the latest. We've recently gotten coding and things like that from the It's On Us campaign. There will be a tab on our website. I'm so excited about this. There will be a tab on our website that says SUNYSA It's On Us, where we can have students and SGAs all sign on to the It's On Us campaign through us. We'll have numbers of students who sign on to sexual violence prevention and start that dialogue on their campuses, which we're really hoping. I really honestly think by the end of September we could get every single SGA to sign on to that if we all work together and really contact our campuses. The last day of the you want to jump in working on that?
Yes, that way it's not like my report after that. So for It's On Us, I just got off the phone with Alex on Tuesday, and she's the campaign director for It's On Us, and the way It's On Us is formatted for students is they have regional directors, and so there's a regional director in Syracuse, and she is very, very interested in getting as many SUNY students as possible on regional calls. So we're working on ways to make sure that their call-in number won't crash, because I feel like a lot of us would call in and that would be over like 50 people. So we're looking at ways to get that. Once that's available, I'll make sure that myself, Bridget, and Amanda are all in touch with you, and that we're able to make that available. And then, like Bridget said, we'll have coding hopefully by tonight. Just send her an email or email it back and forth, and we'll have all sorts of landing pages and cool things that you can do, along with toolkits and events and yada yada yada. Yeah. Sorry.
Going off that, another thing that we've been discussing to bring to conference, and it's kind of relevant now that Joe Swartz just did his presentation, is bringing SUNY's Got Your Back, that backpack initiative for domestic and interpersonal violence victims to SUNYSA conference, where SGAs can fill up backpacks in our conference, we can collect them and bring them to system. That would be really helpful for the fall conference being in Albany. It would be easy for us to get those to system, and we can kind of seamless transfer. Anyway, so that's another initiative we're looking at the conference that I'm starting to dive into a little bit more. Last initiative that I've been working a lot on, we're doing the Out of the Darkness walk on September 25th. It's in Saratoga Springs. For those of you who aren't familiar, the Out of the Darkness walk is a walk for suicide prevention and awareness. We're trying to raise awareness about one of the leading causes of death on our college campuses, on every college campus, is indeed suicide. So we want to have further dialogue about that, and hoping to raise a good amount of money for that. If you're in the area and would love to come walk with us, please sign up. We put a link on the SUNYSA page. There's also like links on Mark's page, my page, like the entire.
Donate to my page.
What? Donate to my page. So the way it works is there's separate, like everyone who's a walker has a separate donation page, but we're donating to a team. So you join the SUNYSA team. There also are a good deal of students from across New York State, from Jamestown, UB, like who can't go to the Albany Walk, they're signed up as virtual walkers to try and help us raise money. So if you can actually be there in person, it'd be great if you could start a donation page and just join us and see if maybe you can get some friends or family to donate to the cause. We currently have a donation goal of I think $1,000, which I think we could probably easily hit within our scope. I know donate to my page, so I get the most donations. We're petty.
You get a free shirt if you get a certain amount.
We all get free shirts. No, we have to raise a certain amount. If we raise a certain amount as a team, we get free things, like shirts. So if we need a further incentive than like raising money for a great cause, t-shirts.
Do it for the t-shirt.
Do it for the t-shirts. But that is on September 25th. Please, perhaps I know I'm asking you to send a lot to your campuses, but it'd be great if you could advertise that initiative as well. Or just let them know that it's something we're working on and keeping in mind that students with invisible disabilities and mental health issues, we are keeping that in mind, and we are keeping them in our initiatives. Lastly, I've been helping President Cohen, past President Mastro, invite for all of you to join us. If you're in the area and you can come, it's going to be here at SUNYSA System Administration, so please join us. We'd love you to go. But this is an extra event that we kind of thrown in to our schedule that we kind of had to squeeze funds out from all corners of the area.
And we are actually not paying for any of it. We're
Yeah.
getting funding supported from
From-
Chancellor, from
Yeah. So that being said, we can try and talk about finding ways for everyone to get there, but we wouldn't be able to really fund hotel rooms or carpool in like 3 deep for this evening. But you just reminded me of something I did forget. But if you have a further question, are you sure? Okay. We can. That's a conversation we can have with the board as well and see what can be done for those if you are very interested in going. And but you're going. You're a president. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so currently for presidents, we can talk about that as well. I don't think that's something we've touched on yet. Yes,
What is that?
presidential summit is from September 23rd to 25th. And then the 25th, the morning of, is the Out of Darkness Walk in Saratoga Springs. So a lot of people will be in the area already. Which reminds me of one other thing. Travel forms that I naggingly send out to you all about 10 times. We really actually need you guys to fill those out, whether you like live in the area and need accommodations or not. Because we need to know if you're coming to the meeting for one thing, and we base that off of if you're fill out the travel form, that's our numbers for food, for hotels, for carpools, everything. So when I send it to you, please fill it out when you get it. Please don't wait, because if we wait on you, that's why it takes so long to get hotel and carpool accommodations to you guys. Not saying it's like entirely your fault. Sometimes I slack as well. But it'd be great if I didn't have to send nagging emails like, please fill this out. It's very important. If you don't opt in for transportation, we can't reimburse you, that kind of stuff, and I'll let Pat touch on that. Any other questions? Yes.
So you said that you wanted us to like send our campuses the dates of all the conferences. Are those already established or still?
So the fall ones are set in stone, they're established. The spring ones, so from January to April that I've outlined, you can send them out as like save the dates we're going to have a meeting at this time. The dates, those are when we're going to have our meetings just because it works with our calendar, city's calendar, etc. School's calendar, and things like that. But the dates and the venues you have to approve as a body. So I didn't bring that legislation today because the ones for the winter and spring, we just have a few more things we can work out in terms of the contract for conference and our February meeting. So you can see on there we don't have a venue for the February meeting yet. So we're going to approve that tentatively at our fall meeting September for now. But feel free to absolutely set up the fall dates and definitely set up a conference date for the fall.
Where can we find those?
It's on my report. So in the reports folder of our business meeting, you see my report at the bottom of that are all the dates we need, and it includes the date for presidential summit as well. Yep. Happy hour.
Okay. So as Bridget mentioned, we don't have the funding to do everything we'd like to do, including bring everyone to the presidential summit and things like that. So I'd like to sort of walk through our finances a little bit to give everybody a picture of where we are. Within the first couple of weeks of my term starting, I learned some pretty concerning things with our finances. One of them being that last year, SUNYSA overspent its budget by about $8,000, which had to be covered by the Office of University Life, and the rest came out of our research foundation account. So the way our finances work is we get an annual state budget, which we apply for a budget increase. We haven't even heard yet what our final 2016-17 budget is. So we get that. Last year that was $64,400, and right now we're basically operating under the assumption that it will be the same until we learn what we actually have. So we have another pool of money in the research foundation that we use to pay upfront costs for our conferences and then gets reimbursed afterward from registration fees. So in addition to having overspent by $8,000 from our state account last year, we also depleted our research foundation account by something on the order of $20,000, which was a lot. So I've been in kind of a mild panic about our finances for the first couple months, and Mark and Bridget will tell you that every time they ask for my opinion on something, I disappoint them horribly. run through our spending last year, what we spent on EC meetings, and we're looking for places to cut costs this year. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room. Most of our budget is basically mandatory essential spending that we can't give up on. So the best. So another flaw that I kind of saw in June I held a handful of meetings with Andy and Lisa Kelsey and Liz from SUNY, and we went over trying to create better sort of information flow between SUNYSA and SUNY so that our budget information is always as updated as possible and we're tracking better. So that should help us avoid a repeat situation where we overspend. In addition to that, I reviewed all the expenditures from last year, which I only got the finalized 2015-16 budget 2 days ago. So there is a little bit of an issue with an information lag between SUNY and us. So because of all this, Mark and I had a meeting with the CFO of SUNY, Eileen McLaughlin, on Tuesday. And she acknowledged that they're having some issues getting everything out in as timely a manner as they'd like to. But there were some encouraging things coming out of that meeting, including a possible openness to increasing our budget. She's going to see, in the past, we've been supplemented for absentee days and travel and things like that from the chancellor's budget and things like that. So she said she would seek to give us an accounting on what might be available and try and get a commitment from other offices so that we can rely on that and plan for it as the year goes on. It was a good and productive meeting that I hopefully leads to some better practices for us in terms of how we use our finances and the ability to plan that. So what I've done because of the overspending last year, I've tried to cost out everything that I expect us to spend money on from now until the end of the year. And what I found is if we spend in roughly the same way as last year, we still have a bit of a gap that I think we can make up by doing better on the revenue side of things, especially with conference. We're probably almost certainly looking at a conference registration fee hike. One, so we don't continue to deplete the research foundation account, and two, because by bringing in more revenue to conference, we might be able to save money from our state budget that usually gets allocated toward our conference. So every year we spend $18,000 out of our state budget to pay for upfront costs for conference. So if we have more registration revenue, I'm also pursuing conference sponsorships. Maybe we can knock that down to $6,000 or $7,000 and break even on our budget. The other strategy I'm pursuing for increasing our revenue is I had a meeting on Tuesday with a person in the SUNY grants office. So I'm working on putting together a program that will allow us to do more in terms of traveling and getting us out there and building a better network across the state to advocate. And from there, they're going to assist us with searching for grants and applying for them. So that meeting was very productive. I also learned that Liz was involved in a grant we just got $1 million.
Not yet. May.
We clapped already.
Take it back. Take it back.
Clap.
Sorry, that's what I was told. So that grant, well, maybe that grant office does have success sometimes. So I'm optimistic that we can get a competitive application in within a few months. It'll help supplement our budget in the spring. So until then, Bridget was great with organizing our Fredonia meeting where we'll be able to save on lodging by staying in the dorms. I don't know if that's broken ever yet. Which is really important. And also next year's transitional, I'll probably recommend, isn't at Bolingbrook, but it's on a campus where it can fall closer in line with the cost of the executive committee meeting, because the transitional meeting costs over $9,000 this year, where this meeting is costing $46,800 or so. So that's another way to save $5,000. So basically, I'm looking at our budget very closely. I'm working with people at SUNY to want you all, because some people have asked me questions about, you know, do we have money to do this? Do we have money to do that? Can I take a train instead of a bus? Things like that. And the answer for all extra spending is going to be no, almost always. Until we can figure out a way where we have some.
I wrote Bridget a note when he started talking. I said, this report will be depressing. So you're all aware.
It's just
Sorry, Pat.
Well,
but
no, it should be inspiring. Because what we need to do is we need to do more with less. And we need to show
bread and butter.
we need to show the world that every dollar given to SUNYSA makes a tangible difference in the state. And because of that, we should get more of them. So that's the narrative that I think we need to present in budget advocacy and for grants and things like that. And that's what I'm going to try and do. And hopefully by the time the spring semester rolls on, if we're responsible in the fall semester, we won't be in a position where we're going to have to not do things at the end of the year because of overspending like last year. So I think we're okay, but just so everyone knows, things are going to be very tight. And for example, with things like the travel form and our travel policies, we're going to have to abide by those policies very strictly so that a lack of planning doesn't lead to unnecessary money spent. So, any questions? I know that was kind of like heavy, but I hope I end on time.
I have a tacky question. So for the conferences, do you want to charge folks who are in the room to attend? Do you want to start looking at differential types of fees for folks? So for instance, last time I wanted guests to attend, guest speakers, you know, instead of charging the full rate, part of that, or for folks, because I saw a lot of folks didn't pay, of course, because you're doing the work. But thinking about, you know, does your campus sponsor you to attend things? Can they pay for, I don't know. Just
I
asking.
think that, so one of the things that I did do was submit a estimate of our conference costs to the SUNY Research Foundation. And it included, I think, 25 rooms a night for the EC, or maybe it was probably less than that. But I forgot exactly what the number was. But anyway, when we just simply cannot continue to deplete the research foundation account. So whatever our conference costs, we have to bring that money in. So we're not going to give rooms away that we can't afford, and that may mean a departure from giving free rooms to guests and workshop presenters like we have in the past. Because at some point, right now, you know, we're still operating with some kind of leniency and you know, keeping a close eye on everything, but we're still willing to spend money on things. But if you know, if when it comes down to it, when we get the final cost of the conference, if an extra 5 rooms a night means that we're going over what we're bringing in between registration and sponsorships, then we can't do it. Just like if our budget is still in a bad place in March, and spending too much at the EC meeting means we're going to spend over our budget. We just can't do it. We just can't spend money we don't have. So everything will be calculated in more detail as we get attendance lists for conference, registration fees. I'm hoping that we can get sponsorships, which I'm optimistic that we can, and that should alleviate most of those costs. So I'm hoping it's not an issue, and by doing better on revenue, we can still operate as normal. But yeah, if we don't have the money to do something, we just don't have the money to do something.
With the city oversight in the fact that just about everything has to be pre-approved for spending, how is an overspending possible? Just my curiosity.
Well, the big part was the transition. It was basically one bulk cost, I think, that sent us over the our budget line. And then even after that, there were a number of reimbursements that came in. They came SUNY has in our actual academy at the time might be a month behind. And because of that, maybe at the end of last year, we thought we had money that we didn't have. So it's just a matter of staying ahead of that so that it doesn't happen again. But I think the real only reason why it could ever be allowed to happen is because we do have the research foundation account to fall back on. So that if we do overspend, money will just be taken out of that to cover it. But if we were to, deplete the research foundation by, and I don't know exactly how much is in that. It's something I'm trying to figure out. If we were to deplete the research foundation account by another $20,000 this year, then we wouldn't be able to pay for the conferences for this fall. So that it just can't happen.
Where does the money that's in the research account come from?
I'm not sure how that account was originally capitalized.
I don't know its origin. I know that the way it works is we pay for conference out of that. We pay for conference out of that line, and all revenue that we get from conference goes into that line. Any money that we, any fundraising money that we get from the auctions, any grants that we get, any supplemental allocations that we get go into the foundation account. And the baseline account that we get, $57,100, comes from the state of New York. And I know just also to touch on what I was saying, we don't self-admittedly, not SUNY, but it's not a secret that the reporting mechanism for SUNY is not as efficient as it could be. And so, according to Dr. Groves, according to Andy, according to whatever, it could look like we've got $6,000 left, but that's not taking into account reimbursements for the last 2 EC meetings because SUNY has yet to post it. So to their best, to their knowledge, we've got money, and then we find out, and then I get very angry about this because then they come back to Liz and say, "Why did you let this happen?" It's like, well, on the account it shows that we've got this money. Why are we going to prevent the students from spending their money if it shows that they have money? They can help facilitate some sort of whatever. And it's because of the lack of planning at the SUNY sort of level, which is why we sometimes overspend unknowingly. And I think that's probably right that we do have the foundation account, which and its face value means a little bit more money just to spend.
To be fair, also, SUNYSA serves a lot of responsibility for So our budget last year was $64,100, which includes the $7,000 student leadership account that we have access to. The SUNYSA line itself was $57,100. We have not received our final 2016-17 money yet. We should have that within a couple of weeks. And just to give a rough breakdown of where that money goes, typically $15,000, which is exactly $15,000 goes to the stipends of the executive board. $18,000 in the past has gone to 2 conferences, $9,000 each, and the rest essentially is travel costs for EC meetings and conferences, with some miscellaneous printing costs. We bought lunch today, which everybody please eat it and take it home
Because we spent money on it. Cattle free.
yeah. So that's basically what our budget is. It's not a lot, and that's part of the problem. I think that, saying we overspend is maybe not accurate because it's largely a function of us not having the money that we need to do the job that we're asking in the first place. So that's, one of the big things that I'll be doing over the course of this year is developing a strong advocacy plan and really a multi-year plan for SUNYSA to dramatically increase their funding. I mean, we've talked about USS and CUNY a little bit. They get an 85-cent student activity fee and operate on over $600,000 a year. So we think that's an ongoing, that's a discussion I think we're going to have and figure out the best path before we really. Yeah, anybody else have any questions? I really, I suck at sales at that. Whatever, this is the job of the treasurer. I am the one who says no, and I take great pleasure. This is extremely nice.
Yeah.
Live.
The whole world just heard you say that.
Yeah, so because this is streaming live and we don't have a great microphone right now, I'm going to ask everyone to raise their voices just for the live stream. People need to be able to hear what we're saying, so talk awkwardly loud because that's what we do.
Oh, last thing for everyone's reference, there is a document in the folder, in my report folder, that outlines a lot of this stuff with the projections and sort of all kinds of budget breakdowns, all that stuff. Any other questions? Cheer everyone up.
Alrighty. So happy to meet you all finally. It's a lot of emails and phone calls and not a lot of Google Hangouts. We all just leave our cameras off. But so happy August. Welcome to SUNYSA. I'm trying to remember the beat longer. So a lot of the stuff that I've been doing with partnerships has been in kind because of our financial situation. So a brief overview of Rockable and the It's On Us campaign. It's completely free on our end. And if we were to get a big name speaker that I won't say because I don't want to get our hopes up, they would be free for us in the spring for the next fall conference. A lot of coding coming. Okay, a lot of coding coming our way. A lot of hopefully a lot more website activity. I know the communications team has been working their tails off about getting our social media active, but our website can be such a tool, and that's going to make us more transparent. So we're trying to make it a lot more comprehensive to decrease the amount of clicks. So when someone gets on our website, they're not searching for something for a long time. So if we can get at minimum 3 clicks to get somewhere, that would be awesome. And our guys are working really hard on really professional pages, and so that's been really neat to witness. Jason and I have been working on a lot of internal documents and a lot of fun archive stuff and kind of digging up things that are lost. We've been working with Josh Ultimos to get the access to all of the documents that he has compiled on old computers and such, and so that's been really neat. Hopefully at some point in time, Student Assembly will have a completely online archive, however that will look, but Jason and I have already set up plans for how we're going to keep it in office. That was one of the concerns that we had, that students had at the spring conference, and a lot of questions that I got was, well, how are you going to document this? So Jason had the brilliant idea of just putting it on a CD, because automatically my head jumped to, okay, so we're going to put it in a binder, and we're going to put those pages inside a plastic thing, and then we're going to label it, and like really OCD, but Jason was like, no, let's just put it on a CD, and then put it in a little case. And so one, it saves space, because it's not a huge office, and two, future presidents, whoever would need those documents, would be able to just pull it up, and we do it in a Word document, I mean PDF, but you can kind of look at her report, and I'll just take questions because we spent a lot of time, and I don't want to just babble on. So, does anyone have any questions for me? No? Alrighty. Mark,
Okay. Does anybody have another opportunity? If anybody has any questions about anything that's been said by anybody thus far at all? Okay. With that, we will move on to the advisor's report, which is just the binder.
It's a cool thing to say right here. I mean, if I'm on camera, people turn that off. So,
Sure.
but I'll talk loud so they can hear.
Right.
But how about a round of applause for Mark and the whole executive team? Echo what Matt said about the food. Please, if you're hungry right now, you can get up, get some food while I'm talking. Won't bother me. If you're hungry, please. All good.
This is your plan for nobody to actually hear what you're
You figured me out, Mark. Well, anyways, I do have some brief updates. Some of these were already discussed do Joe's 3 hours. I followed him once at a meeting. I was like, of course, I gotta follow you. If anybody at your table doesn't have one when they get back from food, just tell me, I'll come over. But as Mark already mentioned about the Chancellor, her last day is June 30th, 2017. And again, these are some things our office discusses, some things that we've been in meetings about recently, some hot topics, some issues, just some things I wanted to give you guys some more information on. Some of you already know, some of you don't. But a lot of this stuff is stuff when we talk to vice presidents of student affairs in meetings, we talk to them about this information. When we talk to directors of Res Life, directors of campus activities, other student affairs professionals around the SUNY system, we give them this exact same info. So you're getting the type of stuff that they get from our office. So as you already know, President Cohen is on the search committee for the Chancellor. What he didn't mention is that he's amongst some amazing educational leaders and business leaders, government leaders on the search committee. And Al Roker's on that committee too. I don't know, did you get to meet him yet?
Not yet.
SUNY, that's pretty going on. And again, if you have questions while I go on, just please interrupt me. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible so you can get on with the rest of your business. The Mental Health Task Force is still meeting, culminating in a fall conference for professionals throughout the SUNY system. If you'd like to be involved in that, let us know. We'd love to have you. I think that meeting is going to be held in either Syracuse or Rochester the first week of November. So we'll keep you updated on the mental health conference. Sexual violence prevention, which we've talked a lot about today. A climate survey regarding what's going on campuses. A pilot is going out this fall, and then it's going to go SUNY-wide in the spring to see how campuses are responding. I don't know if there's anything that Liz wanted to add on the survey. And about the grant that was kind of prematurely mentioned, it is on sexual violence prevention. It is very substantial funds. We've been in negotiations since May to try to get these funds. The issue is that we are still waiting for approval, and once we get approval, they have to be spent by the end of September. So it's a lot of money to spend in a few-week period.
I'd love to try.
What's that?
I'd love to try.
Well, fortunately, we have Joe on board who's helping us out with a lot of preliminary planning is already in place. We're ready to hit send, hit confirm, hit go as soon as we get the final go-ahead. One of the exciting things, which I can't give you too much details on because it's not official yet, but we're trying to do a big event for sexual violence prevention awareness, a SUNY-wide event, which will have a really big name keynote speaker who's very prominent that I believe all of you would know who it is, and of course get a lot of government officials and SUNY officials there as well. But I think it'll be a really big awareness event if it happens, and that the goal is to make that happen the last week of September. So fingers crossed. Veteran Military Affairs, that's a hot topic. The survey went out. I think you already know about the survey. We had over 250 responses about perceptions of services for veteran and military students on campuses. And those results are currently being analyzed, written up, and will be sent out very soon. So keep an eye out on that. Applied Learning is holding their conference November 17th to 18th. And they really want to hear about some experiences from students applied learning. So if there's anything you've done that you'd like to share, people you know that you'd like to share as part of your educational experience so far. Marissa is the Assistant Director of Applied Learning. Her email's right on there. You can email her directly with any stories that you'd like to share. They would like to add that to their website. They're developing for that. Student government fees. This is obviously relevant to a lot of you. Last year, the University Comptroller's Office did a survey trying to identify risks with money handling by student governments throughout the SUNY system and their relationships with their fiscal agents. Currently, they're in the process of collecting all the written agreements between the SGAs and their fiscal agents and identifying some best practices, some things that people can work on, and they're going to be putting together a webinar for advisors that work with student governments throughout the SUNY system on suggesting some ways for how they might need to adjust handling, making sure that there's money's handled properly, so money's not being lost, and things are being, on the up and up. This, if you turn it over, is there anybody missing a sheet, by the way? Fair Labor Standards Act, this is on here because a lot of meetings that we've been to with leaders in student affairs throughout the SUNY system have brought this up as it's a concern. I mean, it's a great thing that from the federal government, but it's a concern with a lot of student affairs departments with budgets and level of care. Because I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Fair Labor Standards Act. No. So the dip. So basically, up until now, for the past 20 years, until this coming December 1st, $23,660 was the salary range where someone had to get in order to be exempt from getting paid overtime. So if you're a full-time employee and you get $24,000 a year, you can work 80 hours a week and be exempt from getting paid any overtime hours through federal government laws. That hasn't been changed in many years. So the federal government wanted to make sure that people are getting paid what they deserve based on all their hard work. So effective December 1st, they doubled that basically to $47,476. The concern about a lot of student affairs offices is that a lot of full-time employees are not making that amount. There's resident directors who part of their salary is having an apartment, but that doesn't count towards this amount. So say they're making $30,000 a year plus their apartment, it still only counts as $30,000 a year because they're being required to live in that apartment as part of their job. It's not a volunteer thing. So basically, the concern is how is that going to work with on-call duties for resident directors? How is that going to work when there's an issue that they have to come to address? How is it going to work with all the extra hours that they put in? The same concern with activities departments and things like that. Schools want to be able to provide a level of care, a level of service to students. However, they're worried about budgets and how they're going to handle that. So right now, a lot of human resources departments are trying to figure out the best way to handle that. Different campuses are handling it differently, changing their work schedules around and making it so that it's not everyone's just not going to get the weekend. It's not just going to be Saturday, Sundays. But some people might have Friday, Monday, and Tuesday as the weekend. Some people might have Wednesday, Thursday as the weekend. So it's an ongoing discussion, but effective December 1st, that's going to change. I'm bringing it up to you guys because it's been talked about in almost every meeting that we've been to with the staff throughout the SUNY system. SUNY blog.suny.edu. I'm assuming most of you are familiar with it. We've been in talks with David Belsky and Taras, who does a lot of web stuff at SUNY. They want great stories from students throughout SUNY. So anything that you would like to share from your campus, whether it's a program, event, successful student, anything going on that you would like to share with the entire SUNY system that you would like on that blog, you can email directly to me and I can get it up on that blog within a week or two. So if there's something you'd really like to share, please let us know. We're always looking for new stories for that blog. The Sharps essay, I put that on there because we're just initially starting to talk about it now. It goes out in October. $1,500 for first place, $1,000 for second place. Any SUNY junior or senior is eligible for this. So any of you in the room who are juniors and seniors, you can apply. It'll be an essay on a hot topic on legal issues. If any of you have legal or pre-law or in your programs or have interest in this, and you think you have an idea for a great topic for a legal essay that we can put as part of this award, let us know. It's going to be decided by some of the legal folks at SUNY, the official topic, but we'd love to get some suggestions from students on what you think might be some hot legal topics that we can put out as part of this for this essay award. Finally, some upcoming events. The students participating in the New York State Fair on September 1st. So about a dozen of us who work at SUNY will be represented there at a table, getting the word out about SUNY to the thousands and thousands of people at the fair that day. The next Board of Trustees meeting is September 13th to 14th in Portland. Faculty Senate, September 15th to 16th in Albany. SUNYCon, that's going to be in New York City, October 27th to 28th. And SUNY Diversity Conference, November 9th to 10th. I didn't go the full 3 hours, but is there any questions anybody had? And I will do my best to answer yes.
After the chancellor leaves, is it expected that the chancellor will immediately take office, or will there be like an interim period?
Mark can answer that better.
The new chancellor is going to be selected before chancellor's in for leaves, so there should be like 2 or 3 months crazy people to come and speak, and as fellows, you get bored. You get
Not
like
crazy people.
no, like crazy awesome people, crazy the crazy awesome people to come and speak. As fellows, you get to meet them. I had to like meet them last year, and you get a free book. You get like they were a book. It's like a whole thing. So it's not like it's a whole thing. So you should definitely do that for SUNYCON specifically, but for any of these.
The other thing with SUNYCON is too is that the people who are there, especially the administration, the staff, and the people who are presenting, really like the fact that students are there because, again, going back to what was said earlier, we're kind of the end user. So having the ability to be able to bounce ideas and feedback and a dialogue back and forth with us is valuable. So you'll really be engaged as a student and a student leader on feedback on issues that are pertaining to the theme. So it's not like you're just going to sit there and be bored. They will ask you questions. You will be part of dialogues. You will be making contacts, connections, networking. And they really do a really good job of highlighting you as a student.
Does anybody have any questions for Andy or for Dr. Groves? Anything at all? All right. Oh.
Just one thing about SUNYCON. So I work in the sort of larger office that's planning SUNYCON. They work really hard at it, and I promise this year it's really interesting. It's about digital engagement. Dave also talked about that before. I can also say they just confirmed the keynote speaker. And I'll say who it is. It's someone who I would highly recommend if you are able to go, you try it.
When did they confirm?
A couple days ago.
Oh.
They're working on contracts now that should be set in stone. And we work on a program. It's a really exciting opportunity. I highly recommend you apply if you have any questions about it. There's a SUNY Big Ideas blog post about it a few weeks ago. I wrote, that's also what I do. More than that's what I do for my job with Dave Nelson's office most of the time. Check it out. You can ask me any questions about it, but I highly recommend looking into applying to be a student fellow.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're gonna work now. Let's actually. Well, no. I would entertain if somebody wants to call for a short 5-minute recess to go to the bathroom, and we're gonna start reports with exactly all the things. So, motion for a 5-minute recess to return by